Welcome to the podcast in your skull, where the thoughts you try to bury come out to fucking scream.
Friends, because today's guest is the voice behind enough hard rock anthems to make your speakers feel like a noise complaint. You know him from the band Shallowside. Shallowside. I haven't drank enough to talk. The man, the myth, the hair product budget himself, Eric Boatright.
We're here, baby. We're here. Shots.
Right. So I wrote a little more here. This dude has toured stages across the country, screamed lyrics powerful enough to wake the deads, and somehow still looks cooler than the rest of us combined after sleeping in a tour bus parking lot behind a Waffle House. We're talking music, touring stories, life on the road, and probably at least one moment that almost got the band arrested. So crack a beer, turn the volume up, irresponsibly loud, and welcome to the show, Eric Boatright.
Yeah, we're in, man. We're in here like underwear.
Oh, God. Oh, thank God. I was worried what you were going to say there for a minute.
We'll keep it uncancelable.
Right. Oh,
maybe. Man, we'll get close.
I was going to say, I do stand-up, so good luck trying to cancel me. So you started Shallowside in a garage in Alabama, right?
That's right. Basically. Yeah. Small town called Bug Tussle. How about that? Oh. Of all places, Bug Tussle, buddy. Bug Tussle.
Do you know that that's a company here in Wisconsin?
Is it?
Yeah, Bug Tussle is a fumigation service.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was midget wrestling.
Hey, little people.
Oh, little people. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Wrestling.
Oh, right. Oh, my God. So during that time, what was the wildest? We can't believe we did that moment from those first few years.
Man, I guess there's a few different like spectrums to that same idea. Playing a show in Birmingham at an actual venue was like kind of the first realm of like, guys, I can't believe we just did that. Like we're pretty much Nickelback at this point. Like Metallica should try to figure out who we are because we just played our first venue. We're pretty damn cool. And then like, reality sets in and you realize you're still you're a redheaded stepchild from a trailer park. So kind of grow up and start to look around. And then we've played with artists that we looked around and was just like, holy crap, that was pretty cool. That was a crazy time. Band like Hell Yeah, that was a remarkable moment with the all original lineup, and then bands like Chevelle and Seven Dust, and those were at the beginning phases of our world. But one time that takes me back and really sets the mood was we were recording our first recording ever. It barely had even understood how to write a song. We just knew that a song was supposed to sound like this because we've always listened to music, right? Big fans of music. So when you're creating music, you just try to start mimicking first. And we were in the studio with a producer called Travis Wyrick. And Travis is a well-renowned and extremely talented producer, writer, and rock god, if you will, from the southeastern area of America. Recorded bands like 10 Years. He has a ton of Dove Awards. And I'm flunking on a lot of the bands, and I hate that because there's so many great ones. But we were in there for 1 week, and he would probably tell the story a little different, but from my perspective, he hated us. He wanted us to get out of there as
What the
fast
hell?
as possible because we were terrible, and we were. And he needed us to get out of there because we sucked. And like I am agreeing with that same sentiment. We didn't know what we were doing, and we left there with a product that was the songs "Fear Ends the Night" and "Crutch," which turns out to be our first recordings we ever released. That didn't do much for good reasons, but golly, after leaving that place, I was like, I cannot believe we did that and survived.
That's insane. Now, looking at what you just said also is you had some momentum shifts from like the early EP Saints and Sinners to like the new album Reflections. What chapter of Shallowside really feels like it defined y'all? Not to use a
Yes.
southern draw, you heard the you all thing with me,
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Saints and Sinners was kind of our first flag in the ground. I think we started to get a better idea of what we were trying to accomplish on our third EP, which was titled One, and with that comes a song called Rebel, which really really helped me establish more of a self identifier. I've never been a good kid. I've always been in trouble from early elementary on, and then we were able to really embark on some recordings that allowed us to elaborate in our harmony adventures, which came the Renegade song that we did a cover by Styx, and that space right there kind of opened my eyes a little more and helped me understand that. This is an honest direction and this is a real approach, and that took recording with a couple of dudes in Boston, which I don't know if you ever met a lot of people from Boston. They are uncomfortably honest.
Oh
So
yeah.
that was a really good take for us. It was turned out to be extremely great friends of ours in Red 13 Media that really kind of set the bar for where we could and should be. So I think that was probably like kind of the start of the idea of like, okay, this is the direction.
No, that's incredible. Now, you were talking about doing covers, and I know you did the Saturday Nights All Right for Fighting.
Yeah.
Out of the covers that you've done in the past, which one is like your go-to and your favorite? Not only live, but when you look back on everything.
Renegade was a favorite and still is. It has a little bit more lore to it for me. I was actually contacted by Styx and their publicist. He calls, gets me on the phone and says, Is this Eric with the band Shallowside?" And I was like, "Yeah, who is this?" The phone number's from California, something or another. And he says, "I have Tommy Shaw on the other line." So what do? I poop myself just right there. I'm like, "What do you
Damn.
mean? Oh no, what do you mean, dude? What do you mean he's on the other line? Am I gonna get fired?" And he jumps on the phone, gives us two thumbs up, and says, "Man, kudos. I don't know if you know this, but I'm actually from Montgomery myself." So, the song kind of came full circle, and it was just like a really appreciative mark from such a legendary band and a legendary man, which I've always considered to be, above and beyond vocally a legend and great sorcerer himself. So, to hear those words being uttered in my direction was kind of uh, super highlight. That was and it was a great song to do. There's a handful of other covers that we did with in different studios, and they came out good. But Renegade was really just a nice one.
Sure. I like the one, what was it? I didn't hear the full thing yet. I heard snippets, I believe. Filters
Oh, filters, yeah,
with Elias, right?
right, yeah,
Yeah, and that's Nonpoint's been friends of mine for probably over 20 years, I want to say.
yeah.
Um, but that's pretty wild that you did something with him.
That was super
Uh,
cool, man. The way that that thing came about, man, I just straight up slutted myself into Instagram, into his DMs, and was just like, bro, I got a track. Will you listen to it? And if you don't even got to respond to me. I understand you're awesome. You're an inspiration to not only me, but like at this point, the genre, rock, new metal, metal. Bro, if you take a chance at this thing, I will love you forever. And if you never listen to it, I will think nothing different of you. And he hit us back with a verse. Man, it must have been 45 minutes later. He had already flushed that bad boy out. Like he's
that's
an
incredible.
incredibly talented human.
Yeah, yeah, he's got such a. I know that that he leans on a lot of the Latin side of music and inspiration, but and he can do everything. You
Yeah.
know, it's just wild to listen to him, especially how the band has changed over the years. With members and stuff, and it seems like it still kind of keeps that core
That is
base
a tough
between.
thing to do, man. Swapping out those strings. They have an incredible lineup now, but Rob has also always been there, their drummer, and
Yes.
that dude's a force to be reckoned with, man. That dude is again a legendary unit in the genre of metal, new metal, and rock and roll. Like he is in my opinion what a lot of drummers shoot for to become, and once they realize how difficult of a world this is to be a part of, they look around and they're like, you know what? That's why Rob is where he is, because he's a freaking boss, dude.
Yeah, 100%. So talking about the new album, um, what's the most fun or chaotic moment that you had in studio when you were making Reflections?
You know, we had a lot of fun moments making it. This album was also a very transitional album for us. We were moving around some people, getting rid of some dead weight and picking up some musical talent that surpassed our own abilities, and allowing that space to breathe became very crucial for us, because we were traveling to Nashville, we were traveling to, Kansas to record, we were traveling to Boston to record these things, in Chicago and Florida to get these songs and chase this sound that I was itching for so badly. And I can remember one time sitting there trying to I was having this really difficult moment trying to find the right lyrics, the right tonality to really lock down a good sound. And I look over inside the studio, and as you know, studios are expensive, and the ones that we were at this time in Nashville was just $100,000 everywhere you stumbled. And I look over, and Heath, our drummer, his shoe was on fire from his cigarette that he just put out outside, and he didn't even
Only
know.
leave it to Heath to
All
have that
right.
happen to that motherfucker. Holy
Dude,
shit, man.
dude's just sitting there burning down thousands of dollars of equipment on his shoe. And I'm like, hey, you're on fire. And he goes, yeah, brother. Yeah. And I'm like,
Oh,
no,
hell
no, you're
no.
your shoe. And he's like, no, okay, I got it. I'll fix it. But we had a lot of ton of great moments there. We recorded that album with Chris Dawson, which is another huge talent. We've been blessed to just be surrounded by talented people.
No, that's incredible. And, kind of leaning on the Heath thing, and just your live performances. I mean, just starting off with his facial features when he's playing, I feel like he's like a long-haired Jim Carrey drummer. I
Yeah,
mean, I have some photos of him from 2015 and 17 when I first met you guys, and I think 15 was Broadfest, and I think 17 was Rockfest when I met you guys, and I think you still had Seth in the band, if I'm not mistaken, around that
that's right.
time
Yeah.
too. Yeah, because he Cody replaced him. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, which I mean, vastly different sound, but vastly different to
Right.
me. you know, just paying attention to you guys over the years. And no, you guys bring so much energy to the stage. And I noticed your fans are so freaking loyal. Like I said, I've known you guys for 10 years or more, on and off, of course, because I don't see all that often.
Right.
But damn, you see the same freaking people show up to your shows.
That they're
And
our
it's
friends,
really
brother.
wild. That's
Yeah, that
awesome.
we're very lucky to have those people. I don't take them for granted. I try my best to keep the idea that those people are not, fans. They're family to us. They've been with us for so long. I didn't really grow up with family, and starting in the music industry, I ran into people that just needed music, and there I was making it myself. So I found my own family in that world. So those people out there listening and being a part of Shallowside, if you ain't got nobody, we owe somebody. we are for you.
Exactly. I was gonna say that's like Bradfest on Sunday. Um, that was the first time in, like I said, almost 10 years that I've seen you guys, pretty
Yeah.
much. Uh, and it's cool because I feel like with bands like you and like Neil and the guys from Royal Bliss, I don't feel like that we ever skip a beat. When we come across each other, which is really really cool. Because
You know
it's
what's
like,
crazy about seeing running into Royal Bliss is the first time I heard of Royal Bliss, we were just cutting our teeth, and we were in nowhere, nobody, Indiana, somewhere crazy, and we're opening up a show for a band called Boba Flex.
haha.
Right, right. We're opening a show for those dudes, and on the TV is Neil. We're watching him on with the voice, right? We were watching him on
Oh
TV.
yeah.
We're watching him on TV, and the dudes in Boba Flex like elbow me, and they're like, "You heard of Royal Bliss?" And I'm like, I haven't heard of him before." And he goes, "That's their singer right there." And I was like, "Bro's on TV?" And they were like, "Yeah, dude." And I was like, "I want to be handsome when I grow up like him." So, like, man, how cool is it to just be playing on a Sunday at the world's largest Bratfest in Wisconsin, and then we're playing with Royal Bliss. Man, what a surreal moment those spaces become in our carnival life that we live.
Yeah, and I loved the after party too. It was cool to see you guys do that intimate setting at the Windsor. And then of course Neil got up there. I mean, you had pretty much everybody get up there. That was pretty wild at the end.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's cool to see that type of camaraderie. Because I mean, of course you see it here and there, but when it's, and I'm not going to specifically pigeonhole a genre, but the for the lack of a better term, it's like the southern rock and anthem rock and stuff like that. It seems like there's more family there than like say black metal or there's always the elitist stuff in those types of genres to me, and I hate to say
yeah,
it because
dude.
I
Metal
have
metal
those
people are
on.
assholes. Metalheads are assholes. They just are. They are. They know they are, and it's cool. Um, But you're totally right. When it comes to drinking beer, having a good time, listening to good music that pretty women enjoy, we're all pretty happy with each other. But a lot of dudes in gym shorts that are really angry, that like to, touch each other's thighs under the table, they're
Oh
angry
my
about
god.
stuff. They don't like a lot of they don't have a lot of friends, so it makes sense why they're assholes.
Well, they're stop playing Dungeons and Dragons and
Yeah,
and
bro,
watch the Lord of the Rings and shit.
get a girlfriend, dude. Get a girlfriend, bro. It's okay. We're not gonna judge you.
Who hurt you on this stuffed
Yeah.
husky? Where do they hit you? Where do they abuse you? Because you look like a fucking stuffed husky. Uh, oh my god. I mean, well, there goes that genre. If I have to, do any interviews, who gives a
That's
shit?
all right.
Just
So
deal with it.
we'll just start throwing figurines at them. They'll be okay.
Oh my god. Just a bunch of them that are painted white with black lipstick on. If you could set up like the ultimate Shallowside live show experience with no budget limits, which I hate saying this, but I want to do it anyways because I want
Okay.
to hear your take on it. What would it look like and who would it be?
Oh, it would look like a packed out stadium with me and my best friends.
It would
That's
be
it. The
a
rest of the
private
world can
show.
the rest of the world can burn down.
Oh
I
my
don't care.
God. That's
It'd be
awesome.
a lot of pyro probably. If there was other bands to be on it, man, I couldn't even begin the list. I wouldn't even know what the list would look like, and halfway through that list, the fans of all those bands would kick us right off stage because it just like it starts out legendary and ends up even better. So it'd be tough for me to see what my a dream world would look like in that space, but honestly, probably a carnival. That's what it probably just roll right out to the big red and white tents with a big spool in the middle of it, and uh, a carnival. That's what it'd be. It'd be the 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 one-eyed monsters and the bearded ladies, and you know,
I swear to God, right away I see Heath as the ringleader with the top
yeah,
hat, just
that's him,
twirling
man.
around a fucking whip.
That is him with a big whip. Yeah, he did like taming
Oh my
lions
God.
and everything.
Holy
I think
crap.
that would be the direction I'd shoot for
Oh my God.
in a swamp.
There we go. I could see Shinedown being on that one with you.
I could totally rock with Shinedown. I'm a huge fan of those dudes. One of my first experiences at a concert, I had just dug a box blade down into my fist from cutting vinyl because I was building houses. Turns out I'm not very good at that. So, um, had it stitched up, wrapped up, went to general admission, traded my floor tickets, the pit tickets in Chattanooga, Tennessee, to be in the stands. This is my first show that I've been to ever, and I'm wearing this wrist thing with a little bit of blood on it, and so I traded those pit tickets because I didn't want to bust my stitches open, but then again I also didn't want to get blood all on everybody else and be a gross degenerate. So I'm sitting there watching in the stands as I'm witnessing Shinedown for the first time. And it wasn't just Shinedown, lo and behold, not even mentioned on the ticket was Hellstorm. And she comes out blazing, absolutely annihilates the crowd. Huge voice, beautiful, the whole band. And takes the show away. Next up on stage is 10 Years. Huge fan of those dudes too. Turn around, Saving Abel with the original lineup is direct support for Shinedown, which comes out. And I'm not going to lie, that was a religious experience. That was good for me. I left there and started a rock band.
I was going to say, well, especially Sunday when I saw you guys, I felt like there was that same energy because I worked the Shinedown show
Oh,
in
nice.
Madison at the Cole Center, and I do stagehands work. And the way that they were, intimate with the fans and stuff like that, I feel like you guys bring that same energy. So
But I think it comes
just know I
natural.
noticed that,
Yeah, I think it comes natural for gentlemen around our area. They're all from the South, um, and we all come from, I wouldn't say similar backgrounds, but definitely geographically the same space where a thank you and yes ma'am is tangible currency. So like those spaces and that type of language and lingo translates a lot through our culture, and I think that they they pave the way for a lot of bands, and I can only be appreciative for those people, and to ever be compared or looked at to say that we could possibly be in the same realm is a privilege. So I appreciate that. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was just wild. So I got to get into this part because I want to get into like some of the personal and future stuff with the band and yourself. I got to start off though with that damn mannequin head, and I know you and I had talked about that in the merch tent,
Patrice.
but it's starting to really like get on my nerves because I couldn't remember what the hell you said. Because let's just be honest, I drank entirely too much El Jimador with Lance and Neil the
Yeah.
night at the Windsor. I'm surprised I remember anything at that point.
It's easy
But,
to do, man. That's
oh,
easy. And the
Lord.
Windsor was sick, man. Shout out to the Windsor. That place was
Yes, sir.
gnarly.
Yeah, that was awesome. But yeah, explain that mannequin head because there's some people that were looking at it like a rack of yard tools.
Yeah, so man, Patrice has been with us for a while. She holds our hats. We tip ours to her. She holds our glasses. Um, she sees the best for us. She was a Paul Mitchell mannequin head that somebody was fixing to make into a nice haircut. Um, we found her through some friends of ours from the Nebraska area, and we kind of picked her up, gave her a haircut that kind of looked like mine, started painting some tattoos on her, and the next thing you know, I got a dickless sister.
I
It's
swear to
Patrice.
God,
Our
there
mannequin head
was-
from Paul Mitchell.
there were people coming up when you guys were. I know that you weren't on stage yet, but they were coming up asking me about it. I'm like, I don't know. I said I know there's a story behind it, but don't touch it. And they're like, and they're
Gotta
like,
get on
why?
there.
I said because I'm not sure what was going on with that head in the tour bus, and
Yeah. We've
they
saw
were
her
like,
hide before.
Oh,
Yeah, we've saw some people do some crazy stuff to that head.
yeah. I said there might be an OnlyFans out there with Eric and that head. So yeah, I think
Only
Alyssa
head.
heard that. I think Alyssa heard that. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alyssa keeps Patrice alive and well
That's great.
at the
Yeah,
merch table.
that's funny. So where do you see Shallowside? Of course, Reflections, but where do you see it in the next 3 to 5 years? Do you see it evolving even more? Do you want to stay linear and just keep on doing the same, or how do you feel
Yeah,
like?
man. We're as any band would always say, or any person working and making the effort, but we see growth and development. We're working on a new studio album right now. Um, I could predict that there's going to be more shows, more music. But the music is it's evolving in a space of comfort rather than hurry up and get it out, which is strange. And I'm probably missing the mark here by a billion miles, but there's so much saturation, and it's so easy now to just like drop music so quickly that I just started taking my time with it. I just started really falling in love with the song and the atmosphere that the song can bring, and I've been elaborating a lot more in the direction of the song. So I think that we're going to see a lot more of that for in the future for Shallowside.
And that's a good point too, because I had Steve Blaze from the band Lily and Axe. I'm not sure if you know who they are at all. They're like an 80s and 90s kind of like hair metal.
Okay.
Which it's kind of one of my influences back then too.
Nice.
But when we were talking about it, same thing. They put out a song every week, or TikTok's like eating up a bunch of clicks and stuff like that, which is great. There's notoriety there. But as you said, you'd rather take your time and be more, organic about it versus, the songs that you could tell there's a click track, and it's just constant, and that makes me nuts sometimes.
Right. I enjoy, and I think I'd like to hope. I'm not sure, and I can't pretend to be an ambassador to music. I've just only created what I've enjoyed thus far. And something that has really intrigued me more lately and inspired me more is the authenticity. Like when you hear something and you listen to it and you're like, yeah, that's real. That feels real and it sounds real.
Yeah, and the thing is too is like I said with Lillian X when he was talking about even with Lars Ulrich or some of the older bands too, you know, you'll hear that maybe a slight mistake or there might be a tempo change that wasn't really supposed to be there.
Right.
Which is, I mean, honestly, that stuff, even if it's a mistake or not, I think that's where real music and real creativity and real like soul happens versus like, where the hell's the drummer at? I don't see a
Right. Yeah.
drummer.
It
You know?
becomes a bit more undeniable. You know, it becomes a bit more in the scene or idea of like someone made this and they created this for a purpose rather than someone just threw some Play-Doh on the wall type of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's, you know, with my post writing, my ad copy and like the little you know, ads that I put up, I'm very, you know, detailed about the way I write. And people are like, oh, was that AI? I'm like, hell no. Don't ever say that to me. That's insulting. I've been doing ad copy for 35 years. You
Yeah.
know, it's, you know, wow. You know, if you think I'm Chat GPT, that's fucking awesome. So that's the reason why we do the roast.
Right. You
But,
know, the cool thing again about authenticity and being on the other side of AI, and I don't hate all the AI stuff and the prompt generation of music. I don't hate that. It's given a ton of people a voice musically that wanted to be a part of it. I mean, I can't even tell you how many people have sent me their poetry or their lyrics to create music with, and me turn around and tell them like, hey, just grab a guitar, buddy. Sit down with the piano and learn the chords and sing it from your heart, because that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm shooting for. And you can do that too. And a lot of people just don't have that time or that dedication or maybe even the resource. And now they have that kind of space to shoot from the hip from. However, people who creators are not I don't. How do I put this? Creators or creative minds are forward thinkers. They
100%.
they plan on what it will be, and they
Mhm.
create from what is not there. And AI cannot do that. As strong and as powerful as AI actually is, it cannot create something you've never heard before. It cannot develop a thought pattern that hasn't already been thought of before, because what it is it's retro thinking. And it takes all of the data, puts it together, and spits out the idea. It's all these ideas that have already been done, and now they've created a morphed idea of what's already been done, rather than the creative brain who thinks forward. So that's the beauty of it. So people with those tools like AI can create something and love it, but everybody else is going to hear that and be like, it's not new to me. That's not new. That's not fresh. And that there's a difference in that.
Yeah, and if you look, especially here in the Midwest, I think there's a half a dozen data fields that are being built. You know, they're taking over old GM plants and like large warehouses that were
Yeah, I've
knocked
been
over and
seeing a lot
stuff.
of that. I've been seeing a ton of that stuff come through, man.
Yeah,
It's a scary world. I don't know what our water's going to turn into soon, but I bet you
right.
anything we're going to start growing extra limbs lately. I just hope that
All
mine
right.
hits the pelvis finally.
Oh, right, right. Oh my God. So talking about that, not the below the pelvis thing. But conspiracy theories. Now that we kind of like fell into that kind of category about AI and the data mining and stuff like that, it's
Yeah.
probably a good point to talk about that.
Yeah. Wah,
you
wah, wah,
know,
wah. Double
Yeah,
jeopardy.
right. What do you feel? I mean, honestly, it's pretty much your thought or whatever. What conspiracy theories have come across your plate in say the last 6 months that you're kind of like, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to a little more, research it a little more.
I'm I've heard them all. I feel like I've heard them all. From the mythical creatures to the elites eating babies or the adrenochrome stuff, uh, to the pre-programming and entertainment. To man, I feel like the birds aren't real. Uh, I it's the only thing that freaks me out the most is a lot of them are coming true. That's the part that I don't like.
Exactly. Yeah,
That's
me
the
too.
part
Me
that freaks
too.
me out
Like,
the most.
where are you supposed to go with this now? It's like, when before the invention of internet, for myself at least, we had newspapers, but the newspapers, and then you had oh my god, National Enquirer.
Right.
You had those magazines, and you had Bat Boy, and you could clearly tell somebody doctored that damn picture up. It had like,
Sure.
there's no way in hell this thing's around. Now it's kind of scaring me because I'm seeing like these goth people with their pointy ears and shit. I'm like, yeah, that might be
That might be what they were talking about. Like used to back in the day, there was just one bearded lady at the circus. And now it's just a drag show. So, like, what even are we anymore? I was like, the most confusing part to me when the conspiracy world set up is like these things are crazy. They're not real, but how crazy would it be? And then a few months later, you meet Epstein and you're like, wait a minute, bro. Hold up. He's been here since the early 90s. Has he been writing it? And it's like the whole thing with SpongeBob and the Bikini Bottom has the
oh
same
my god.
address as his island, and then you hear the stuff about the elites that are, they're taking babies and they're freaking them out and scaring them to a point of absolute distraught torture, and then they take the adrenochrome and it gives them the fountain of youth or something like that, or whatever the space and theory is with becomes that, and then you're like, nah, that definitely sounds like some made up stuff, and then you find out these people are abducting people and taking them to an island and doing God knows what with. And you're like, all right, well, am I crazy or am I just reading it right? And then the whole the conspiracy theory that the government's not even here for us. They're just there to split the idea as they control. And then you're like, nah, that's not what's going to happen. And then every politician under the sun is just regurgitated into the same filth that you had last session. It's just like, what's a conspiracy theory without the truth anymore?
Right away I started thinking of the X-Files, and then also Joe Rogan's gonna love this episode.
There you go. Like, is he a part of it?
Nah, God only knows with that guy. Holy hell, he brings on some crazy ass people.
He said that
Um,
he said that he would keep the secrets.
yeah,
They sure did.
oof,
They sure did have a huge platform to keep secrets with.
man.
But you gotta love
Oof.
it. You gotta love it. It's all entertainment. It's all terrifying as the world really is once you get out into it.
You might have a new song there,
There's a lot in it. Yeah. I
right?
mean, we could be writing the next material right here. The next
Oh,
politically incorrect
right, right.
album.
All right. So, as I told you before off air, I did have Chat GPT, Grok, not just Chat GPT. I have to use the Tesla version,
Oh yeah, we got Elon's version, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he'll
because
print
chat,
titties for you. I like Grok too. He'll print titties for you. All the other ones won't do it. Not that I know.
no, right.
I just saw the
The
tits.
the news report. Yeah. Oh my god. Uh, so it says so Grok told me that Eric, my man, you're the lead singer of a band called Shallowside. That's not a band name. That's what your dating profile says about your personality depth. Hey ladies, I'm deep like a kiddie pool in Alabama.
Oh, oh. I like that one.
All right. So you've been grinding since 2010 out of it says Cullman, Alabama.
That's right. That's the county that we're from. It's like New York. It's New York and the city is New York. So that's Coleman. Coleman is the county and the city. I got
Got
but
it.
the little town that I was from was it's not even on the map really.
That's kind of funny though because like in New York, you're walking across the street and they're like, "Fuck you, get out of the street." In Alabama, they're like, "Oh, bless your heart," which is basically the same thing.
Same wording. Same wording.
Yeah, so this says you've been grinding since 2010 out of Cullman, Alabama, which explains why your music sounds like it was recorded in a garage that still has Christmas lights up in July. 15 plus years of rocking the mid-tier stages, opening for bigger acts and dropping covers like Elton John's Saturday Nights Are Right for Fighting because nothing says like hard rock edge like turning a piano banger into something that sounds like it belongs in a monster truck rally.
I happen to enjoy monster truck rallies, and thank you for seeing me, Grok, because my Christmas lights are still up. I am from the trailer
Come on.
park.
Come on.
What do you mean? I'm representing for my people.
It's all right. So the next one, I might have to read these all. There's not many, but I might have to read them because receiving these things pretty good.
Dude, blaze them down. Let's get them. Make
Oh,
them
oh my
worse.
god. You're out there screaming like I'd like to see you naked in a song like it's the boldest lyrics since 2008. Bro, that's not rock and roll rebellion anymore. That's what your drunk uncle yells at a family reunion. Ooh.
Or at me.
Yeah. Oh my god, of course. You know, why not?
How else how do y'all lose your virginity in Wisconsin?
Catholics.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We just
Yeah,
do drunk uncles.
there we go. Oh my god. Off air, I got a bunch of jokes. Shallowside has more member changes than a bad reality TV show, but somehow you've kept the dream alive while most bands from your era either blew up or became accountants. Respect. But also, at this point, you're basically musical equivalent of that one cousin who almost went pro in 2012.
Hey, you know what? You know what's funny about that is Heath, our drummer, recently went completely sober, and he tells it like right out of high school, I started drinking. I went pro very, very quickly, and had to retire. So we did go pro. We are the cousins that went pro, and we just went elite alcoholism. Though it wasn't really the rock star stardom that we were shooting for.
That's funny because I just dipped over to the full version of this, and it says you're the musical equivalent. Blah, blah, blah. You're the musical equivalent of that dude who peaked in high school but keeps showing up at every reunion with that Letterman jacket on, yelling, "We're still going places," while the bus is literally parked outside of Beaver Bottoms again.
Not Beaver Bottoms, not Bucky's. Don't do it to me, Bucky.
Yeah, and then it says, "Keep touring those Beaver Bottom saloons and CPR Fest, King. The world may not know your name yet, but at least the people of Fountain, Minnesota know to show up when the Shallowside bus rolls through."
So I'm talking about, hey,
Yeah.
we got cold beer. That's all that really matters when it comes down to it.
Jesus. This last one I'm gonna just close with this because it's kind of a little bit nice. Your fans love you. Your ex-bandmates probably fear you. And somewhere in Coleman, there's a trailer park still proud of the boy that's making noise. Respect the grind, roast the results. I love it.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Ferdinand selling that meth out there, Big Daddy. I know you trying to still hustle it, homie. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Oh my God. um, but yeah, where the hell is it doing that? All right. But yeah, at the end of it, I want to make sure that you get the full version of this. And if you want, we can put it at the end. Haven't really done that yet, but I think I might want to put the laundry list so people can read it in the description on YouTube. So
Yeah, dude. Let's do it.
yeah. So
I
at
like
the
a
end of
good
this-
roast.
Oh yeah, me too. I figured you did. I've had a few people that were kind of like, oh no, but it still went up there,
Hey, you know what? I'm just a slut to be seen. So if it takes someone making fun of me, give it to me.
And God only knows. I mean, it really isn't me doing it. So technically, I'm the middleman. I'm just reading. It's like poetry out of a book.
I hate that. I hate that it had to pull from data to get that because like now it seems a touch real. There's a little bit of reality involved with it. Ow!
Yeah, we're just talking about AI and like this shit's got your freaking social security number.
Yeah,
your
no, it
DL,
knows.
and
It
yeah.
knows it. It's digging into my IP address as we're looking and probably getting flagged itself.
Skynet sends like a Heath like version of a Terminator that just has like drumsticks and doesn't wear any clothes.
And big
Has a
boobs.
cigarette on its mouth.
Big cigarette and boobs.
Yeah, there we go. Carrying a mannequin head, Oh, boy. But yeah, so give us everything. Give us the socials, give us the what you guys are coming up, tours, everything.
Oh
'cause
man, the
this is kinda
easiest way
your
to find
pulpit now.
Shallowside is Google. Google is a friend of Shallowside, so shallowside.net is our web page. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Tell Grok that we're sorry and please love us more, or X rather than Twitter, the artist formerly known as Twitter, now X. And then we're on TikTok. We got the YouTube. We're anywhere that you're on. I started an OnlyFans account. Kind of hard to find it. There's only one follower. It is my uncle. He still puts in that $1 a month though. So like, cha-ching, Randy.
Why is it that right away when you said that I hear, oh yeah, so I get in there and I really dig it. Oh yeah.
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 Oh, okay. Yeah. What you need to do is give it to Uncle Randy. Okay. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I
Have you-
shouldn't do impressions. Listen, I tell you what, I was born to be a comedian. I'm just forced to be a singer.
There we go. You should just do that on stage and sing like Randy Macho Man.
I would if I had big muscles like him, but I'm just really big in the midsection, and then and it's all above the belt, unfortunately for me.
Right. Just stand upside down for a while. Maybe it'll go upward. No, there's one that I saw with Nickelback, and they have to do this. It says you talk about growing up poor like it's your whole personality, but let's be real. The only thing shallower than your side is your artistic evolution. You're not rock and roll. You're, oh my God, you're what happens when Walmart brand Nickelbacks and gets lost on the way to the mega church youth group.
Oh, that one's salty right there. That's a good one right there. I hate that. Fuck you, Grok.
Right.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
Oh,
good.
hell.
I wish that Walmart would pick us up though. So shout out to those dudes for slave labor or whatever they're doing.
Right. They have a bunch of little people that are working in the back. I've seen some wild shit in the Walmarts. I can't imagine out by you, but like the Wisconsin Walmarts, I've seen a guy that was dressed like a he was in a sun he was in a sundress, but he had like the personality of Santa Claus.
Oh,
It was weird.
That's interesting. That's
It
worth a
was
dollar in the
weird.
pocket there. That's worth a dollar. You know, out of all the places that we've been to, the strangest space that we've been to was the state of Iowa, where there are arguably more drug addicts than there are taxpayers. So that place was just
I mean,
terrifying.
yeah, they should change their state slogan to like meth capital of the world. I've
Yeah.
worked in Des Moines and a few other
Not
places.
not Iowa, it's IOU. That place is
That's it.
crazy.
That's it. Yeah. Oof. But guys, follow Intrusive Thoughts, INTTHTPOD on all the socials. Please, by all means, see these guys live. They are
See us live. If you've been offended here, it gets worse on stage. You're gonna love it.
yes.
Purchase the
They
tickets.
they throw baby carcasses everywhere.
Oh God.
No, they don't.
Because
No,
we're
they don't.
elitists.
Yes. Yeah, they only do the stem cell research. That's it. And then after that, they throw the babies. But love you. I'm so glad we reconnected, and hopefully we have a few more of these. This was a lot of fun with you.
Absolutely, brother. I appreciate you having us on here.
Yep.